Hello everyone, it is 2:25 in the morning and I decided to record a new casual YouTube series. Now, I'm gonna say this flat out for all of you that this series isn't gonna sound particularly good. It's gonna sound okay, but you're gonna hear some fan in the background that I've managed to muffle a teeny tiny bit by kind of putting a cloth in between myself, the microphone, and the actual fan. But I'm not covering the fan because it's for a laptop, and if you cover a fan on a laptop, you get some pretty bad heating problems, but you guys already totally know this, I'm assuming. So that's a sound that you're going to be hearing for a little while. So if you can get past that, you may also need to get past the fact that the screen is going to look like garbage. I'm doing a little bit to clean that up a bit, but if you look at it, you're going to see the thing shimmering. I believe that has to do with mechanism. I've been told, I guess we don't have mechanism, so I have no idea what that has to do with, but that's how that is. My computer is garbage. That's not garbage, that's a lie, but it's certainly not amazing. So you're gonna have to deal with that if you've gotten past the sound things, and if you if you manage to get past that, you have to get past the fact that it's gonna not respond every once in a while, so I'm gonna have awkward cuts. And if you get past all of that, you're gonna have to get past the fact that there's a slight delay when opening my inventory. It was pretty clean that time, but usually if you saw my Feed the Beast Infinity Evolve series, you'll get some of that. So yeah. By the way, what you're looking at in the video looks worse than what I'm looking at, but it's a very small margin. And so anyway, I guess if you haven't clicked off the video, you're okay with everything, so good, welcome. This is going to be a casual series. As you can see, I've already done a lot of crap. I'll tell you the story of how I came to record this. I got that recording itch. It was back. And not to say that I ever really lost it, but at some point, I think I was playing Simply Magic, I think, and I got kind of bored of the game, and I realized exactly how bad my computer was. Same computer, by the way, I haven't upgraded, but computer's not really great for playing and recording games. It's a laptop, and it's kind of middle of like processing and gameplay, so it's not really great for what I wanted it to do. So I sort of stopped and I was like, okay, well, I'll just save up some money, get a new laptop, get a new PC, get a dedicated gaming PC. Having a little bit of issues getting the money together. I don't make that much more than I spend, which is a problem that I'm trying to figure out, but I figured, some hard work and dedication, I'll have that new PC in no time. Unfortunately, time has passed. I don't know how long no time was in my head, but hasn't worked out in the ideal, magical plane of existence that my brain inhabits. But I figured I have still been playing Minecraft. I did a little bit with a friend on a couple friends on a server. Then I think we did another server of a quest pack, and then I got onto a community server with some friends and played there, and that's kind of gotten stale. It was a custom mod pack that's kind of gotten a little stale for me. I think they're working on a new one. So I came onto the Curse launcher, or the Twitch launcher, whatever the hell it's called, and I was like, yo, let's see if we got something cool. And I saw Feed the Beast Beyond, and I was like, oh yeah, they've got Evolve coming out soon or whatever. So I looked at it, and it's like Evolved, or modes coming out soon. And I was like, no, okay, well, let's play the regular Infinity Evolve, because I really haven't gotten that far into it. So if we go here, there's has a command now called pack mode, and I downloaded the thing, and I really couldn't find like a newsletter or anything, so I just wanted to check. Do pack mode get, we'll see that current mode is default, and if we do pack mode list, see that this is only default, so this version only has the regular mode. So I was like, no, whatever, let's just play this, get a new game started, and we'll see what we can do. And that's pretty much, I just started playing. It's been a couple of days now. I don't know exactly how long I've been playing. I think it can show me somewhere here. I don't really mess with those settings in particular. Guide, server info. That's probably server backup difficulty, all permissions, commands, leaderboards, number of time played. 36 hours. I have left this running for a little while. This is on my just laptop server. It's not on a server or anything that I've paid for. I don't really, I'm trying to save money, right? So I had left this game running for a little while just to AFK and stuff. So I want to say I've played less than 24 hours of this. And you guys can probably tell based on my progress. So I have made some progress though, and I started off with just regular Tinker's tools. I got the smeltery going, got some ore doubling, and then I put some lapis on this guy, and I managed to get enough lapis that would I got pretty lucky finding lapis, so I managed to get fortunate. I started getting a lot of coal and iron and yellowite, so I was like, hey, let's build a little reactor. So I built a little 3x3 reactor, and I've since expanded it. But that was making about 700 RF a tick, so I was like, okay, well, let's make a sag mill, an alloy smelter that'll eliminate most of my dependence on this guy. And I started doing that, and then I had the resources to make these other machines. Not really in this order, but I had the resources to make those machines, which I used to make the Time Aggregate Instructor, which made this farmer. So that's been going, and then I've been processing. That's wrong. That's okay. I see what happened there. Did I? Yeah, there's that delay that I've been talking about. So I made that farmer. I've been trying to work on getting this automated. This is a little bit different than my normal setup. You're just gonna insert wheat at some point, I hope. Let me do that for you. There you go. These are stuck somewhere. Whatever, I'll just put them in the system for now. So I made that farmer, and it's been getting my wheat situation going. What did I do afterwards? I think after that, I made this reactor a little bit bigger. This is currently going into a capacitor bank, which is being turned off and on by my mouse has been disconnecting itself all day. Ignore that sound. Alright, hopefully that'll fix itself. This is just turning it back on and off when it gets a little low. The redstone port thing is right on the back of this. So I made the farmer. I made some more machines. Then I made this armor. I made the flux infused armor, which is really just like redstone, pyrotheum, and diamonds. So not really that hard to get. The pyrotheum was probably the trickiest thing, because this is just gold and silver. But I was, like I said, I was mining, and I got the things to double my resources. Redstone, I had fortune, so I was getting plenty of that. Pyrotheum, you get plenty of sulfur when you kill. Well, like this is just coal and redstone. Blaze powder, I just went to the nether and killed some blazes. And if you take a look at this, you get plenty of sulfur when you do it. So I had plenty of pyrotheum to do that. Like I said, I was getting plenty of lapis, so this sword, and I was in the nether, so I got manulin and cobalt. And the sword managed to get some looting on it, which I think it's got looting 3 now. So I managed to do that, made some armor. I actually miscounted. Alright, I made 20. I made 24, 24 of these worth flux electrum ingots, but I didn't make 24 of the flux crystals. But I did wind up making these long fall boots, which are, I think they're left over from that portal gun mod, or somebody else ported just these. And what they do is they negate all fall damage most of the time. Sometimes I'll find myself like falling on the side of a block and I'll take like half a heart. I don't actually know how it works, but didn't take any fall damage, so I figured, hey, since I made like, since I was missing 4 of since I was missing the basically 8 flux diamonds, I figured let's just keep the boots on. They're gonna take durability damage, but recently I enchanted them. I got into Botany, I made the enchanter and whatever. And then I got into Unbreaking and the enchant, which I was fine with. And then I made a mending thing because I already had all the stuff to make an enchanter. So that was pretty recent. You can tell that they haven't really had a chance to repair themselves. And that's, so shortly before that I made the Magma Crucible and Fluid Transposer. And I think the Pulverizer too. Actually, the only reason I made the Pulverizer is because there's this neat recipe with horse armor where you could just pulverize it straight into diamonds, and I was low on diamonds to make this armor. Yeah, this is pretty quality armor. I really haven't gotten past half health since I made it. I've been going around the mining dimension, killing a bunch of monsters, because this is great for spawns at nighttime. In fact, I can show you right now. It's going to take a little bit of time to cross dimensions, but while I do that I can... Oh, well, it's cooperating now, which is good. But you'll start to see a bunch of these baddies spawn on the surface, which is really neat. Because of the mining dimension, by the way, because this has Aroma's Coronet, I actually have this neat cape. You remember that server that I mentioned? This is the group that is. It's called Awesome Sauce. I don't think they have like a unified thing to check out. I'm kind of a grunt member, TBH, but that's where that comes from. So I get a cape in any pack that has Aroma's Coronet, and I can design my own. I've been meaning to do that. I'm willing to take suggestions for you guys as to what cape I should do. So I've been using this place basically to just hunt Enderman, and I've also been killing the cows here because I don't have to worry about hurting them to my base. I was gonna let that guy hit me a little bit just to show you exactly how the armor does. But yeah, any chance to kill Enderman is good because I haven't been to the end portal yet. And, I mean, you guys will get to see... Oh, that was rude. It's also kind of loud in my ears. I'm going to turn that down a bit. I accidentally looked at you. Are you going to... Please. Hey, skeletons. Can you stop? Thank you. Okay. This guy does about half a heart when he hits me, which is pretty awesome. I like that. Yeah, it's very loud. So anyway, let's get out of here. Where is my... It's over here, isn't it? Douchebag. So other than that, wow, I made quite the distance. I really wish I had a way to like travel further. I think a slime sling would be pretty good, especially like without the slime boots I don't bounce, but I also am in no danger of taking fall damage, so I think that might just be a good way to get from place to place. But I have this kind of running joke where I hit the slime sling and refuse to build one ever again. So I'm going to continue to not build the slime sling and build one. So after making the armor, I think I made this guy. I made all this, which really is just a lot of iron and quartz. You guys... I guess I'm not really explaining how all this stuff works, am I? How do I do a rundown of that? I guess if you guys have questions, because this is some basic stuff, and I'm kind of taking it for granted because I know how to do most of it. But if you guys have any questions, just go ahead and ask. You start off with this mod by building a controller, which will allow you to turn RF into RS. And then you can hook up some solderers, and then those will make the machine parts do this. I mean, just following the recipes, and I think this is JEI still, I don't actually remember. After that, I made this farming station, and I put in an unbreakable hatchet made of paper. It's since gotten another experience thing, and I put Silk Touch on it. I think it might get leaves. It has not. That was a mistake, but that's been there's some wiring underneath it, which is feeding into this guy, which is collecting all the saplings and all the apples and all the wood. The wood is going into this alloy smelter, which is being powered by these Stirling generators. The wood is turning. The alloy smelter is turning these the oak wood into coal. It is then being fed into here. The resonator from extra utility is getting turned into charcoal, which, if you look here, this burns at 1600 ticks. This burns at 3,520. So this is double by default. But if you look, I can't really like show you on screen. But if you look where it says current efficiency boost, 120%, which is that's how much GP I'm making. I could up it, but we'll do that later. So that's getting fed first into these two Stirling generators. The Stirling generators are powering this alloy smelter and the farming station, and then all the excess is going into this this drawer. And I've been using these drawer, and now what it's doing is basically just filling up all of this. Hey, we've got I can't blaze wood or whatever. So after I was making that, I decided, you know what, I've got a fuel source. Let's make some endo flames. So I made the endo flames, and they've been feeding off of the red coal for a little while. This is a very complicated setup, and like at face value, but if you take some time to break it down into pieces, it's very simple. So these guys, this drawer is dropping into this hopper, pretty simple. The open crate is dropping things on the floor. They're getting picked up by the endo flames and burned, sort of like putting them into a furnace. They're producing mana and shooting it into the mana pool via these mana spreaders. And once they're on the floor, after a little time passes, the floating hopper hawk is picking them up, putting them back in, and they're getting recycled. And that's so they don't fall onto the floor, stay there for 5 minutes and despawn while these guys are cooking, because this won't make it through an entire stack without losing some of these. So this is kind of resetting their despawn timer. This Solnolia is, if I can get my thing on it, is preventing my magnet from picking up any of the red coal in this area. I think I can show you the range. I don't have my monocle on me. And that's going to be like that forever. Until I break it. So I did that, and then after that I decided, you know what, we need some more mana production, because I was barely able to make this Sojourner Sash, which makes you run faster, jump higher, gives you step assist. The Bandivore passively regen mana for your tablet. Ring of Magnetization is a magnet, which I actually was able to make earlier just on dungeon loot, basically finding mana steel in the dungeons. And the part of the class pendant will extinguish you once you're on fire. So if you walk through fire in the nether, for example, it'll put you out. But if you're stuck in fire, you won't get extinguished. It's better than nothing. And that coupled with fire resistance can be pretty potent. So I figured I needed some more mana, so let's go with my patented Gormarillus strategy, which Gormarillus is a plant that eats food. And what's happening here is that got this drawer up here full of toast. And it's pulling out of these, putting these in these automatic precision operas, which are pulsing based on this hovering hourglass, which isn't on currently. It's not counting down. And it's pulsing, and then they're dropping their toast up through this block, which, the way Minecraft works, it's going to shoot up through here. In fact, it's probably easier to show you. Let me just turn that on. That'll count down. That's it for about 30 seconds. It's got 3 reds, or it's got 3 red sand in it. These guys are just shooting up, and the Gormarillus are eating them. You'll be able to see. It's pretty quick, but you'll be able to see it. It's up there, and I'm going to start producing mana. They burp, and that's how you know they're going. These guys, you can't just drop mana on top of them. Or you can't just drop the thing that they're going to eat on top of them, like I've been doing over here with the red coal, because they'll just eat it all and they won't produce any mana except for the 1. They'll produce mana for 1 because they haven't finished eating. It's kind of like I think it's based on like human digestion, like it's not as efficient or something. I don't know. But that's happening, and we're getting toast from this guy. I'm going to turn this off because I don't really need it on. I think I hit it just now. Yeah, I'll say I did. And that is getting its toast from this guy, so I hooked up the farmer, and the farmer is... Alright, this is pretty simple for me, but for anyone who hasn't seen this, it's going to be a little hard. So the farmer's harvesting all these plants and replanting the seeds, which is good. It's dropping the wheat into here. You're empty, that's why. And the seeds into here. These are going to get voided. That's what this little tag means. It's got a void upgrade in here, so it's going to take out the rest. The wheat is going in here, which is turning it into flour. As soon as we get some harvest, there we go. We should be able to see it in action. Turning the wheat into flour. The flour is going into this guy, which is turning it into bread by smelting it. It's also got a trivection chamber in here, which will double the amount of food you're getting. So this is turning 1 wheat into 2 flour, and 2 flour into 4 bread. And this guy is crafting bread with bakeware, which is making toast, which is, if you can see down there below the tooltip, it shows you exactly how much it feeds. And that's good for us, because the way the Gourmerillis works is the more saturation food gives you, the better it is. So, like, eating an entire steak is better than eating enough carrots to equal that saturation, if that makes sense. It was explained to me like that. Saying it out loud doesn't really make a lot of sense. But the better food you give it, the more mana you're going to get out of it, basically. And that is also primarily feeding into this toast, this culinary generator, which is powering the whole thing. This is all self-sustaining. It's got a few speed upgrades in here, so it's making like 56 RF a tick, but it's got some speed upgrades, so it's going faster. It doesn't actually tell you. I think it's making about 3 times that, or like a little, like 2.5 times that. I'm not sure. Really feeling the effects of not sleeping, but whatever. So that's all self-sustaining, and as you can see, these are going back to power these things. We're making more than enough stuff. I don't know if you've noticed, but I kind of like my little setups to be in a line and also power themselves. So this is going. This is also kind of where I'm going to be getting my food from for at least a little while. And this setup isn't perfect. So what I've got going on here is, once this gets mostly full, this comparator is going around here, and it's supposed to pulse this guy and turn that off. But unfortunately, I added, like, it was working fine, and I did have 2 more pieces of redstone right here, but unfortunately I added this guy up here, and then added this guy over here, and this was supposed to feed into this aggrecarnation, which is speeding up the plant growth, but this constantly needing mana is sort of creating an endless loop. But once this guy gets full, it'll turn this guy off, and we're not going to be getting as much mana, and eventually it'll just dry up all the mana trying to make that grow. And the reason that this isn't just filling up faster and turning it all, like this isn't filling up last, is because we've got a lot of things feeding into it and really only 1 mana spreader feeding out of it. So I'm going to have to change that around in order for it to be fully automated, but for now, that's about all I got. So I'm going to take a quick cut right here, and I'll be back in a minute. Alright, I'm back. I had to go get some water. My voice is a little hoarse, and it's also kind of hot in my room because I had to turn all the fans off, and the AC doesn't actually work in my room for some reason. I don't know why. But, I think I'm good now. So I wanted to take some time to kind of explain what I've got going on in my bag. The axe in the farming station sort of replaced my my main axe, because I'd been using it. It got some modifiers on it. It's got the experience thing in this pack, so it doesn't start off with like the 3 modifiers by default. You gotta earn them, but I put that in there, and then I made it out of paper, and then made it indestructible by adding the 5 obsidian plates or whatever. I think I'll just plates. If I can find this. These reinforcement modifiers. If you add 5 on any Tinker's weapon, it'll make it unbreakable. That's why it's got this little tag right here, right under writable 2 that says unbreakable. So that kind of replaced my main axe, so I made this one. I was actually intending to put this one in there because it'd be powered, I'd be able to recharge it, and would only take a little bit of durability. But I figured I'd rather just make an unbreakable one, because I'd be able to sit and forget it. So I did that, and this thing's actually pretty cool. I didn't notice this, but it's got a sneak to harvest multiple logs. I guess I've never used one of these, but that's pretty cool. I didn't know about that. I guess not a lot of interesting things in my bag. I got some fire resistance potions that I made back when I was derping about the nether, thinking about getting like a gas thing and this to make the angel ring, but unfortunately I need nether stars to do that. Actually, I might have done that after I realized I needed nether stars, because I'd have to kill the I'd have to kill some wither skeleton skull, so I was like, oh, let's get fire resistance just in case. But we're probably going to be doing that soon, because being able to fly is pretty nice. Other than that, I really didn't show you guys this reactor setup. It's I can probably take this apart really quickly. It's not really that much to look at. Let's take this apart. It's basically just 4 control rods, 4 fuel rods, and they're surrounded by gold on either side as their coolant. Just gold. It's very simple. Anyone who knows big reactors should be able to pretty much tell this apart. Tell this by looking at it, because it's very small anyway. But it's got that. If you don't know big reactors, you can make these nuclear reactors that operate, I think, kind of like regular reactors in real life. I'm not a nuclear physicist or whatever. I don't actually know. But you got control rods, and they do things. I don't actually know. This is sort of automatically feeding and outputting. It's not the most sophisticated thing, especially once I've got the refined storage system right there. I probably could have hooked them up and made it a lot simpler, but it's good for now. I need to actually build a structure. That's something I haven't really worked out yet. I'm not sure what I want to build it out of. Maybe you guys give me ideas if anyone watches this. If not, whatever. I'm just going to show you guys what this does, how much RF it's making. So it's making about a little over 1,000 RF a tick, which that's what the control rods put in a little bit, 30%. I haven't actually like calculated this or anything. I was just like, well, I don't need the 1,200 or whatever RF for tick it was making. So I was like, let's just insert the fuel rods a little bit. It'll use less yellorium per tick. And like I'm already using way less than I need, especially since I've got these self-sustain. This at one point was hooked up via power cell, and this was hooked up via like just running a cable over, but I didn't really like the way that looked, because this used to just be I was sort of stockpiling wood, so this was just that farming station, so I hooked a power cell on top of that. I think I still have them sitting over here. Yeah, another thing I didn't know about, the power cells just transfer power wirelessly. There's some power loss, which is probably why you don't see a lot of people using them. Let me see if I can find these guys in the right order. One of these guys is an input and 2 are outputs. We'll see that collectively they've got 3 million RF. I'll break one of these down. Only have 2 million. So each of them has 1 million in it. This guy was hooked up to the little capacitor I've got over here. It was taking RF into it via the blue sides, and it was outputting onto the machines that it was on. I think the other one was on the farming station after I was like, well, I don't want cables anymore. And they're all linked up via this card. So this guy's ID 1, this guy's ID 1, this guy's ID 1. And you can have different cards to have different channels on different ones at the same time. Like I said, there is some power loss, and you can mitigate that by like having them at kind of close distances and infusing them, but we're not at the point where we can do that anymore, and it was easier to just make them a closed system over there than doing this, because this would periodically kick on the reactor just by sitting there, and now it's a lot cleaner to do. But I did find out that there's a simple power cell. I had no idea this is here, because like this recipe is slightly more complicated. But thanks to um, what's it, actually additions, this is fairly easy to just turn nether quartz into prismarine. And I live on an extreme hills biome. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I've been finding quite a bit of emeralds. So it's not like this was any more expensive in the long haul. In the long haul, I've got 33 emeralds. I think I'm fine, and I have used a couple here and there. Making those power cells, and I think a silky jewel that I put on that axe over there. Here, I'll give you guys a little quick peek through the things that I've collected on my journey, just to give you an idea of what I've done. I did kill one of those little golem guys and get an Eye of the Ancients thing from Embers. We might play with that pretty soon. I haven't done a ton of Embers work, but it'll be interesting. Nothing super interesting in the Nether. I did find a pretty big Nether fortress. I'm really happy to show you guys later. This over here is just a little AFK thing. I don't want monsters to touch my butt like that guy. He would totally grab my derriere if I was just sitting out here in the open. And I used to like climb underground, but that's not very comfortable. Well, am I gonna be able to sleep before this guy gets me? I am, because he's dumb. Don't touch me. I should have let him set me on fire to show you guys how I extinguish myself. Watch this. Okay, well, I'm obviously not being set on fire, so, you know, it works. Also, I need some experience to mend these boots that I haven't really gone out of my way to fix. I'm not getting any experience from smelting anything because it's all automatic, which is fine. But, well, I'm really not getting experience from smelting anything, am I? That should all be being fit into the boots. I'm going to have to make this system a little bit bigger. I did originally intend to make a an AE2 system. If you look over here, I've got the... I made a bunch of pure Certus quartz, because I'm like, oh, that's going to take a day to make. So I just tossed them in here and let them sit. And ultimately, I was like, yeah, this is way cheaper, and this costs like 17 RF a tick. It's not that hard to make that, and we'll go with an AE system later, because I didn't really learn how to make an AE2 system. I also didn't learn how to breathe in between sentences because it's been a while since I've recorded anything. And when I popped the video on, I was like, wow, it's gonna take me a while to explain all this, but I think I've done a pretty good job, even though it's been like half an hour, or maybe more. So I think that's about it. I've explained anything to you guys. I've explained pretty much everything to you guys that I can. If you got any questions, concerns, questions for me, feel free to ask. Any suggestions on what I should build, where I should build. I'm not opposed to building on top of this extreme hill. It's pretty big. There's also this like little peninsula over here that might be a little too hilly. There's other stuff that we can build. You guys can suggest a biome to build in here. I think I spawned right around over here, by the way. Took advantage of the spawn chunks. Although I'm sure there's like a chunk loader somewhere. It's not like this is a server. What am I talking about? Yeah, again, if you guys are curious, I kind of went over some things pretty quickly. If you guys are like, oh, how does this work? How does this little stupid thing you set up work? Or like, Matt, you could fix your Britannia issue if you just change this thing around, or just put this one semicolon in the code or whatever. I don't actually... I'm not opposed to it. Or what do you guys want to see next? Because there's some mods I haven't really played with. I played with Embers a little bit, but it was in a pack that sort of had the recipes changed around, so I'm not super familiar with all of it. Probably have to make a boar and whatever to get some energy on. We could go back to blood magic. We could continue on with Botany. I've got a pretty decent mana production going on. But we can always make it better and get some cool gadgets and stuff. I'm gonna have to fight a wither soon. I don't know if we want to do that before. Just kind of actually looking through the mods for the first time. It's dark utilities, which is good. I can set up a mob trap. I can set up several mob traps. Like it might not be a bad idea to set up one in the in the aroma dimension, I'm not sure. You get a message that says it resets stuff, but I'm not sure if that's like a server run thing or whatever. Because I don't know. I haven't dictated a reset thing, so I don't know if that's done automatically or if I don't do it, it'll just stay. I'm not super sure. We could start a little bit of Draconic Evolution. I mean, I got a little bit of dust. I've got like 15 of this dust. I could go kill the dragon soon. I've got about 20 ender pearls. Here's embers. I'm not really. You guys, tell me about embers if you know about embers, because I'm not sure if I really want anything from it. Because I've only gotten. The only reason I did it in that other pack is because I needed like these Dawnstone plates. Other than that, I don't know. Probably gonna want to get teleportation set up. I don't know if I want to go with the RF Tools one or if I want to try these telepads from Ender IEO. They seem pretty cool, but they're also pretty expensive. So probably have to go to the end first to get a bunch of Ender Pearls. Environmental tech's cool. We might make a solar panel, just get a little bit more RF, and then maybe try a nanobot beacon. I haven't built a tier 1 of those. I wonder if I can get like flight super easily from that. That might be fun. Where is the flight modifier? Is there not one? I played a pack that... Oh, here it is. It just takes these launchers, which... Oh, it does take mica. Need a void resource miner to do that, but that's not horribly expensive, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, we could make that here. We don't have to go to the end. We just need to do some mining. I'd probably have to get a builder going or a quarry of some sort, which mines. Probably making that reactor a teeny bit bigger. I'm just pausing to think. It's forestry. I've never really played with it. We could do IC2. I've done IC2 recently. Man, my first what is this suit called? Quantum suit. That was fun. Might not. That was neat. Might not mind doing it again. I did it with mostly solar panels though. I don't know anything about this mod. These mods right here. Oh, this is Natura. I've never played with open computers. It kind of scared me off because it had the name computer in it. PAMS. Project Red. Blah, blah, blah. Tools. Railcraft. We've got Reliquary. Flux Infused Chestplate. Oh, these are neat. What is this? That's neat. I wonder how that works. Just kind of peering through this. Yeah, lots of neat stuff. I don't know, you guys give me some ideas, because I could pretty much go in any direction, but I would like to get flight soon. Which means, maybe the resource miner would be... Like, we could make an ore miner instead of that quarry idea. Or we could just make the quarry. We'd have to get some ore processing going, which would require a bigger reactor, but again, that would give us some resources to make it. Get some auto crafting going. What was I? I was looking up the recipe for something. Yeah, give me ideas, guys. I would like to make this fire axe. I don't know why. It just seems really neat. And I don't know why it costs nether stars to make. That's... I love that quote, but I don't know. I'm confused. We'll find out. Alright, so give me some ideas, guys. And I will see you... Actually, hold on real quick. Nanobot beacon. I'm guessing that takes nether stars? Yeah, we gotta kill the dragon and do that. So it'd probably be easier to just get 2 nether stars and to get the wand than kill the dragon or whatever. I don't know. Give me some ideas, guys. Probably going to make this a bigger reactor. Again, if you got any questions, I'm free to answer them. Or I'm more than willing to go into greater depth. This is a beginning episode, and I just talked your ear off for a minute and 20,000 seconds. So, yeah, I'll see you guys later. Bye.